We've all ordered a book or even an item offline because it looks so good. The imagery looked good, the cover looked good, it looked interesting, and you were into it. And then when it comes, it was nothing like that the picture displayed. The book is nothing like the cover, and the cover was probably the best part about the book. Or the item that you ordered off the internet isn't like the item that you ordered in the picture. It's far from it. And with that said, we know it can be the opposite also. A book has a really awful cover, it looks crap, but it's an absolutely amazing read. If the marketing is not done right, something great can also look awful. Just the same way something awful can look great. So the roles can be reversed. And we know it's the same when we watch movies and we look at some of the cover art, that some people have done fantastic jobs on it, but it's no reflection of the movie itself. There's some great B and C movies out there with great cover art, but the movie's terrible. And I wanted to start off by just giving this simple observation before we look at people. There are many people of the world. How do we know who's who? Who to trust? Who has a kind heart? Who has knowledge? Who not to trust? For we can never judge a book by its cover. The answer we can really never know. Let's look at these two people. From first impressions, who is the one that holds true? Which one would you trust? I feel most would likely say the man in the business suit. Formal looking, clean, professional. Surely this man is better than the almost gangster looking man who is also a lot younger. And him being young means he probably isn't mature and less experienced in life than the man wearing the business suit, meaning he doesn't conduct himself right in the world. And you presume the businessman is also more intelligent, as the way he looks is the type of job that he holds high knowledge, and he's probably been to university and holds a degree. The businessman also looks like a family man, maybe has a wife and kids, lives a normal life, whereas the gangster looking man doesn't have a family, is living on the streets, living for the streets, probably selling drugs. But all of this we presume, we judge, we think we know, but in this case we do not. The gangster looking man wears these types of clothes because of the time which he grew up in, the clothes of the modern world. He also finds them a lot more comfortable. He's 15 years younger than the man in the business suit, but he has read 300 more books and has the same level of education, holds a degree. He just chose to go into the support sector rather than business, helping vulnerable peoples and those in need. He has a huge heart which he has taken from his family, often not seen as his stereotype, but this does not worry him, as he's here to do a service and understands the people of the world may judge him for being young and also being black. The young man has almost the same amount of money as the businessman and actually earns roughly the same amount every year, but first impressions, you would not know this. He also has a family, a daughter and a wife who he cares and loves for, the same as the businessman, only the businessman has an extra child. But he's on the verge of a divorce after cheating on his wife with an office secretary. Without knowing, through prior judgments, we have wrongly judged these men. And with all this said about judgments, even higher than that, we are one. We are human. But higher than that, we are light, and that is what we share. But to even be able to see that, we must start here. And in some senses, it's not our fault. Our society has trained you to think this way. Our opinions, mostly learned behaviour. It's common when you first encounter someone to gain almost an instant perspective of that person, which again you have created due to their age, their look, their clothes, the cleanliness, the way they speak, their facial expressions. We feel we can read people. We feel we know who they are and what they are about. And I'm a qualified criminologist which looks at behavioural patterns of offenders, and even with this knowledge I can say with confidence, never judge a book by its cover. Most first impressions are negative but dependable on the mindset, where we compare ourselves to that person. If they are bigger than us, they are big. If they're smaller than us, they're small. It's all based off us and I. If they are white and you're white, it's a common ground. If they're black, it's a different story, but it isn't always the case. And this must stop. Stop thinking we know everything about the world and its people, and forget what we know and start to see the people of the world as one, as the same and not different. It is they that have made us think this way, but it is up to you to change that way of behaviour. Lots say they have lost hope in humanity, I still have faith